Let's go, come on. Let's go. Let's go. Whoa, whoa, hang on, just wait. Whoa. Wow, look at them all go. There's such a change in these little guys over this week, which has been really good. Been putting a bit of time into them, just sort of getting them moving. And you'll probably notice how eager they are to get up in the sky, and you'll see they're everywhere at the moment flying, which is good. There's still a few that are lagging a little bit, but I'm not too stressed about that. Just getting them up and moving. Not flying for very long, which is fine, but they are starting to go out a fair way too, which is out behind that tree boundary there, which is uncommon for those babies. Sort of the first time for him. Whoa, he's coming in pretty crazy there. Whoa, look at that one. That's that recessive red there that we got from Hop Options. He's come in like a rocket. They are flying really well, those ones actually from Hop Options, the ones with the orange rings on it. And you'll see, hopefully when I call them in, they'll come in pretty quickly. But at the moment, I've only got that open. They'll come in and out as they please, but I'll put that down before we call them in, which they've been really good actually. This is probably the best bunch of birds that I've had in terms of being called in and not giving me too much hassle, which is, yeah, it makes life a lot easier. It's probably, I don't know why it is. Maybe I'm just, relaxing a little bit more. But we're still a bit warm, but the birds are doing all right considering the weather. But they're just going everywhere at the moment. It's good. As long as they're learning. The little grizzles are doing really well. There's one there. Whoop, it's just so hard to keep track of them because they are all over the place. Let's have a look how the old boy's doing. He's just bobbing down in the corner there. He's a bit of a character. 2 eggs in here. At this point, still not seeing too much. I think he's kind of starting to molt as well. You can see there's a few feathers sort of starting to fall off him a little bit there. But, what can we do? We just got to keep chipping away. I have checked these eggs yesterday, actually last night. So I might check them again shortly, which will be tonight, so 24 hours later. Didn't see any form of formation going on there, so still not looking 100% good, but we'll give it till the end of the weekend, so probably another 2 days, and we'll just see how those eggs are forming. I may take these ones away and just let it do one more round, only reason being, if they aren't fertile, I'll take them away, and then after that, that's it. Only because we clipped the vents on the male, gave him a really good tidy up down there. So if he can't fertilise the next round, then I think his breeding days are done or close to it. And I don't have the patience really at the moment to keep trying to push any more rounds out of this hen. She's going to be put away and just enjoy the rest of the year until we probably start breeding again with her later on in the season. So, which is a long, long way away. But she's doing a good job. She's a good girl. But the old boy is just relaxing. We'll have a quick little look in here as well. Oh, what's spooked all them? Hopefully no falcon. He's been about a bit lately, but yeah, not sure what's going on with that guy, but these guys are doing pretty well. I'm going to start taking some hens out and separating them soon, just to give them a little bit of a break. So I was hoping they were going to lay, but it looks like no, that's over and done with, so that group's done. We're finishing off this pair here as well. Looking really good, especially this cockbird at the back. This one looks like a hen, so it might be the first hen that we've bred from 83 and the best hen. But this guy here, let's get him out. He's He's looking really good. He's a real character too. Hey, this little 83, son of 83, huh? Your character, huh? Come on. Get you nice and fired up. Yeah, I like to see that. Hopefully you carry that on as we go. But he's going to be, I've got a lot of cocks out of this pairing, but he's going to be a beautiful pigeon as well. So, yeah, we'll sit him aside for next year as an older bird, which would be good. And candled these ones last night as well. So these are fertile, and these will probably hatch in the next 7 days. So that's really good, and they will get those patella rings on them, which is something we've been trying really hard to get. And same thing here, he's just started to molt too. His eggs are going to hatch, and then it's done and dusted for patella, which, yeah, will be a bit of a relief once I can finally stop these couple pairs breeding. But that's patella. If we want to enter patella, it's this time of year every single year for us here in Australia. So it's you know, just another thing we have to deal with. And there's the big tiger cock. Look at him looking nice. He's out of his molt now. I think he's probably on his second last flight. And just pushing the last part of his tail out as well, so he's looking really nice. He's sort of just tidying up around the eyes and there, the little feathers. So I'm pretty happy how he's come out of it. So he's he actually molted really quick. I'm pretty surprised. That's good to see. I like the birds that molt really quick. That they just push them out and they go through their wing feathers really quick too. I like the birds that do that. Some birds are just pushing really, really hard. And you've got Little Storm here, who looks like she's just been hit by a train because or she's had to run in with a Falcon. But this was like a light switch. A couple of days ago she had all the feathers and she looked really nice. Now look at her, the poor thing, just hit her like that. She could be a quick molter too. I do like the quick molters. It's a nice trait to have. That's about it at the moment. The birds are all just resting. We're just finishing these two off and get them out, and we are sweet. Now this is going to be really hard to do because they know as soon as I'm in here that there's some food to be had. So I'm going to try. Oh, it's not going to work. You just watch them all come in. Mum! Alright. It didn't really work out. I was hoping to show you guys a bit better than that, but this little group of birds, I love them at this age. They're super excited. I think there's one that just went running under there too. Actually, there's two under there. That's a bit naughty. They're still coming through. Mum! Mum! Come on. Recessive red, your turn. Come on. Oh, don't you go back out there. That's a bit cheeky. Come on. Alright, so yeah, at the moment I'm feeding these guys once a day. And as much as they want. So I'll let them pretty much eat until they stop eating. Yeah, it's not ideal. A lot of people probably won't agree with that, but because these guys are a bit later and they are starting to mold, I'm like, you know, I'll give them as much as they want once a day. That's why they kind of like come in a hurry, because I know that this is a day, their one time to get a really good feed. Because they're molding, I want them to molt out quickly and healthy as possible, but I still want to get control over them. You see before, I've tried things differently each time, which seems to be, this time seems to be working really well. That, you know, as soon as they sort of see me come in and start rattling the bucket and whistling, they'll come in. We did have a bit of trouble with the earlier ones, but I'm setting a really good example for these ones, which seems to be working. So they'll eat as much as they want. They'll come out for a drink, and yeah, you know, seems to be working pretty well. Hopefully I might be able to try and fly some of these a little bit later on this year, or race them. That would be ideal. These ones here, same thing. I'm feeding these ones today as much as they want, which, yeah, it's a fair bit of food, but because these are molting quite heavily, I'm kind of just trying to get them through it as quickly as possible. And I've got some birds in here that are almost finished molting as well. I think there's one I seen last night that is on its final flight halfway through that, so that's pretty good. I'm like, that's what I want to see. And that one was bred after some of our older ones we bred, so yeah, it's interesting. And I do like this time of year because you kind of come out here and you're like, hey, shock, you're kind of like, where did this pigeon come from? Because they change so much. Like you'll see with Whiteface over there, she looks so different and she's really beautiful at the moment. And there is another hen here too that's off Rosetta. I probably won't be able to show you until they sort of finish eating. I'm going to go get them some more food anyway. I'm going to give them a little bit more safflower in this next batch that I'm going to give them in a second. But that little hen, wherever she is really beautiful. And one of these muleys are starting to turn out quite nice too. Starting to get that real silvery look to them, so that's interesting. So there's Whiteface. Look how much that's changed from the basic pure black pigeon we have with just a little white face. That's her. And while you're in here, let's have a look at you too. So here's one of the muley's sons. Look how he's turned out. Oh, just hang on a second, buddy. He has turned out really nice. Nicer than the other muley was looking at. But a little bit frighty. We'll have better looks as we get along anyway. It's kind of hard at the moment because they all pretty excited still, but Whiteface is looking pretty good. And I'll probably try and show you this other hen another day, so stay tuned. They're just finishing up the last bit of seed there, and see you in the next video. It's getting pretty exciting now.